Hi everyone, my name is Abhiraj Garikapati. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing Abhi. Do you know who's the most terrified of Sung Jin-woo and his insane powers? Is it maybe Cha Hyun? Or what about Go-do Yoojin? How scared did he get after Jin-woo absolutely toyed with him in their battle? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in today's video. We'll be giving each character a percentage of how terrified they are of Jin-woo and his powers, starting with the ones who aren't scared of him at all, and working our way up to the ones who will literally have a heart attack whenever they see him. So let's get right into it with the first character, and that's Cha Hyun, who comes in at 0% fear as she's not scared of him at all. When they first met, she was immediately interested in him, not because of his strength, but because he was the first hunter she had ever met who actually smelled nice to her. Because, well, she's super sensitive to the scent of mana, and yeah, this made her very curious about him. Later on, she saw firsthand just how insanely strong he was. First when he soloed Kargal Gaon, then when he stepped in to protect her from Kumamoto. But even after witnessing his insane power, was she scared? Nope, she was too busy just standing around and blushing over his aura. Someone else who comes in at 0% fear and wasn't scared of Jin-woo at all is Go Gun-hee. Talking about aura, when Gun-hee met Jin-woo for the first time, he literally couldn't help but feel a rush from Jin-woo's overwhelming aura. His heart even literally started racing from excitement. Then when he saw Jin-woo's power firsthand during his S-rank evaluation, he was of course shocked at first, but instead of fear, he felt pure fascination with his powers. To him, Jin-woo wasn't a threat. He was a gift to humanity, someone who has the power to protect the world. Now let's talk about Gina, Jin-woo's little sister, who's also 0% scared of her brother. The first time she saw Jin-woo's insane strength was when he completely lost it in rage. And honestly, who wouldn't? Because a bunch of orcs attacked her school and one even came dangerously close to killing her. But Jin-woo arrived just in time and annihilated them for scaring and hurting his sister. But even after witnessing her brother in full rage mode, Gina wasn't scared at all. She knew he'd always protect her, and instead of fear, she just feels love and admiration for him. Now finally, at a tiny 1% we've got Jin-ho. However, at first, Jin-ho was absolutely at a solid 100%, as he thought Jin-woo was a straight-up maniac who would actually kill him. As after Jin-woo took down Barura while they were trapped, Jin-ho panicked so hard that he started calling Jin-woo boss, and he literally became Jin-woo's slave. But now, Jin-ho is Jin-woo's best friend and he even sees him as his real big brother. Yeah, he actually told him that. So he's not scared of Jin-woo anymore, but still, he knows just how ridiculously strong Jin-woo is. So every now and then, when Jin-woo shows off his insane power, Jin-ho can't help but get a little freaked out. Moving on, we've got Choi Young-in at 5%. Instead of being outright scared, Choi was just completely shocked when he felt the insane amount of power Jin-woo had during his S-rank evaluation. He couldn't even fathom how strong Jin-woo truly was, and yeah, that definitely made him uneasy. But that said, Choi sees Jin-woo as a powerful ally rather than a threat and has full trust that he'll use his strength to protect humanity from all monsters. Next up, we've got Thomas Andre at 7%. Being literally ranked as the strongest hunter in the world, Thomas had absolute confidence that he would annihilate Jin-woo when they came face to face. But yeah, you can probably guess how that went. Jin-woo literally beat him with just his bare hands and nearly killed him. And that's when Thomas finally realized he wasn't the top dog anymore. And yeah, that scared him. See, Thomas lives by the belief that might mate, right, using brute strength to get whatever he wants. But now for the first time, he wasn't the strongest in the room, and honestly, that did shake him a bit. Now, another national level hunter we gotta talk about is Liu Jigang, sitting at 10% fear. After hearing that Jin-woo completely wrecked Thomas Andre, Liu became humble and respectful towards Jin-woo. And if you know Liu, yeah, that's not really his style. He's usually. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Abhi grow naturally. He's super blunt and doesn't hold back on his words. But yeah, with Jin-woo, completely different story. He acted friendly and humble, clearly knowing that he did not want to be on Jin-woo's bad side. Because let's be real, if they ever fought, Liu would get folded instantly, and well, he absolutely knew that too. Moving up to 15%, we've got Kang Taeshik. When Jinwoo made it very clear that he wasn't someone to mess with, Taeshik went all out, using his stealth skill to try and take him out. But instead, Jinwoo hit Taeshik with his murderous intent ability, instantly flooding his mind with overwhelming fear, and leaving him completely frozen. And just like that, Jinwoo took him out. And yeah, you can literally see the terror in Taeshik's eyes, so why isn't he higher than 15%? Well, the thing is, murderous intent forces fear onto its target, meaning Taeshik's reaction wasn't entirely natural. So once the effect wore off, he wasn't as terrified anymore. In fact, he even respected Jinwoo and gave him some last-minute advice before accepting his fate. Now, let's talk about Kim Chul, who's sitting at 18% fear. Wait, only 18%? That seems kinda low, right? Well, let me explain. We all know that Kim Chul is well a scaredy cat, but to be fair, those eyes were absolutely terrifying. But when it comes to Jinwoo, yeah, things are a little different. Because when Kim tried to kill him, Jinwoo slammed him into the ground and sent him flying like a rag doll. So shouldn't he be terrified now? Actually, no. Because it all happened so fast that Kim didn't even realize Jinwoo's true strength. That's why he went for round 2, thinking he still had a shot. And, well, Jinwoo ended his life right then and there, turning him into a shadow. So since Kim never fully grasped the power gap between them, he didn't have the chance to feel true fear. But he of course still earns his 18% fear percentage for freaking out when he saw how Jinwoo kept his entire squad safe. Next up, we've got Hwang Dong-soo at 20% terrified. Now, we all know Dong-soo's life mission was to kill Jinwoo, but you think after Jinwoo's dad absolutely destroyed him and sent him to the hospital, he'd take a step back from this mission, right? Nope. This guy was dead set on getting revenge. Even though he knew Jinwoo had reawakened as an S rank, he still came up with a plan to take him out, kidnapping Jinho to lure him in and trapping Jinwoo. But here's the thing. He wasn't dumb enough to fight Jinwoo alone. He literally forced the entire scavenger guild to fight him, because deep down, he knew he'd get wrecked in a 1vs1. So yeah, that alone puts him at 20%. Scared right there. But yeah, his plan backfired hard. Jinwoo pulled up, saved Jinho, and then proceeded to destroy Dong-soo. He did however fight back with everything he had, but it was nowhere near enough. So that's why Dong-soo's not higher than 20% terrified. Because as he's a meathead, he's literally too arrogant to be fully scared even when it's painfully obvious he's outmatched. Moving on, we've got Baek Yeon-ho at 25% scared of Jinwoo. When they first met during the Red Gate incident, Yeon-ho immediately recognized Jinwoo's strength, and that's why he later was desperate to recruit him to his guild. However, his admiration quickly turned into shock and fear when he saw just how powerful Jinwoo actually was. Because during Jinwoo's S-rank evaluation, Yeon-ho, just like Choi Jeon-in, was stunned by the insane power Jinwoo had. Then when Jinwoo effortlessly dodged all the journalists in a blink, Yeon-ho was left frozen as he realized his eyes couldn't even keep up with Jinwoo's speed, and that's when it really hit him. Jinwoo literally had no limit, and his powers would only continue to keep growing, and that thought absolutely terrified him. And because of this realization, Yeon-ho became way more careful around Jinwoo. Before we move ahead, please take a second to share on this video. Sharing helps this video reach friends who may also enjoy anime, gaming, travel, cricket, chess, career basics, or personal stories. Your support helps Amazing Abhi grow naturally, fully aware that his strength was something beyond comprehension. Alright, let's talk about Woo Jinchul at 60%. Now, Jinchul actually sees Jinwoo as a friend. He trusts him and knows exactly how powerful he is. But well, that's the problem. Because when Jinchul was sent to observe the Origin Guild's first rank dungeon raid, well, this is what he looked like before the raid, and yeah, this is what he looks like after. So yeah, Jinchul was shook, because seeing Jinwoo's shadows in action completely terrified him, as they absolutely slaughtered the dungeon monsters like it was nothing. But the one that really got to them? Egris. Yeah, Jinchul straight up admitted to himself that Egris could one-shot him without even trying. And the fact that Jinwoo had a shadow that strong? Yeah, that freaked him out. So when he reported back to Go Gun He about the raid, Jin Chul didn't even try to sugarcoat it. He straight up said that Jinwoo's raid was more like a massacre. Next up, we've got Goto Yuji at 75%. As Goto was curious about Jinwoo's strength, he challenged him to a 1 versus 1 sparring match. And since Goto was one of the strongest S-rank hunters in the world, he thought he'd easily win. But yeah, he couldn't have been more wrong. Jinwoo completely toyed with him and dodged all of his attacks like it was nothing, and well, this obviously pissed Goto off, making him go all out and aim to kill him. But yet, he barely managed to cut Jinwoo's cheek, and before he could try anything else, Jinwoo caught his hand. And let's be real, if their fight hadn't been interrupted, Jinwoo would have one-shot him on the spot. So why is Goto at 75%? Well, after their fight he literally got PTSD. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, he was straight up horrified of Jinwoo and even started thinking of him as death itself. So yeah, another person who got PTSD from Jinwoo. Now, let's talk about Leonard Nierman, who's at a solid 80%. Leonard is Germany's strongest hunter and ranks 12th in the world, so he's not someone who gets scared easily. But when it comes to Jinwoo, oh yeah, he was shaking. Because during the International Guild conference, Leonard spotted Jinwoo in the crowd and wanted to introduce himself. But then he just turned around and walked the other way. Why? Well, because he literally saw Jinwoo's entire shadow army hiding within his shadow, and it, of course, freaked him out. But who can blame him? Like, just look at this. So yeah, Jinwoo doesn't summon his shadows from another dimension. They're always with him, just chilling in his shadow, which makes it even creepier. So while he was literally shaking, Leonard even admitted to himself that Jinwoo literally could go to war with the entire US by himself and probably win. So yeah, he was absolutely terrified. Moving on, we've got the Ant King at 85%. This guy was arrogant, bloodthirsty, and obsessed with finding a worthy opponent. And well, he finally got what he wanted. Because during the 4th Jeju Island raid, the Ant King came face to face with Jinwoo and instantly went all in, thrilled to have a fight against a strong opponent who he couldn't just take out in one hit. So he threw everything at him from raw strength, poison, and insane speed. But yeah, it didn't matter. After Jinwoo countered every single attack like it was nothing, the Ant King went from cocky predator to panicked prey. Realizing he had a chance, he tried to run for his life, screeching in fear, but yeah, he didn't get far. Next up, we've got Essel Raideru at 90%. When Jinwoo met Essel on the 80th floor of the Demon Castle, she basically came face to face with her worst night. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Abhai grow naturally. Jinwoo effortlessly wiped out all her knights, and when she was the last one left, he was seconds away from killing her too. But instead of fighting back, Essel instantly surrendered, begged for mercy, and promised to give him anything if he spared her. And lucky for her, he actually did. But the fear didn't stop there. Because when Jinwoo later asked, or more like Loki threatened, if she would betray him, she literally started trembling and swore she wouldn't. So yeah, Essel was terrified and literally almost fainted from fear. So her 90% is very justified. Moving up to 95% scared of Jinwoo, we've got Norma Selner. Now, Norma is an upgrader working for the Federal Bureau of Hunters, meaning she can literally upgrade or boost a hunter's power by 20-30%. Pretty cool, right? Well, that's exactly what Michael Connor, the Bureau's deputy director, was banking on when he tried to recruit Jinwoo to the US by offering Norma's ability to make him even stronger. Sounds like a good deal, right? Well, it would be if Jinwoo didn't scare the life out of her. Because when Norma tried to upgrade Jinwoo's power, not only did it fail completely, but she accidentally got a peek into his soul. And guess what was waiting for her in there? The literal Shadow Monarch. Yeah, she saw Ashborn inside of Jinwoo, and let's just say she was not okay after that. Like, just look at the state of her after realizing the insane power Jinwoo was hiding. Yeah, she was absolutely terrified. Now, almost at 100%. We first got Rakan, the Beast Monarch, sitting at 99%. The moment Jinwoo started awakening as the true Shadow Monarch, Rakan absolutely panicked. He didn't just feel threatened, he straight up ran for his life and tried to hide, realizing he was completely screwed. But when Jinwoo tracked him down, Rakan completely lost it, dropped his pride, and begged for mercy. So why isn't he at 100%? Well, because after Jinwoo mocked him for groveling, Rakan managed to pull himself together and still tried to fight. He even said that Jinwoo wouldn't leave unscathed, but yeah, we can all figure out how that turned out. Finally, we've reached 100%, and these are the characters who might literally just drop dead if they ever saw Jinwoo again. And first up, we've got Hwang Dong-suk. Although, at first, this dude wasn't scared at all, as he saw Jinwoo as nothing more than a weak E-rank hunter, just some expendable nobody who was gonna die so he could make some easy cash. But oh, did that change real quick? The moment Jinwoo started wiping out his squad one by one, panic mode kicked in. Desperate Dong-suk made one last effort to take Jinwoo down, but instead, he got slammed into the ground like a ragdoll. The fear in his eyes? Priceless. He was begging for his life, completely broken. But yeah, we all know how that ended. So yeah, easily 100% terrified. Next up at 100% fear for Jinwoo, we've got the architect Aka Candiaru. After Jinwoo returned to the double dungeon and acquired the black heart from Ashbourne, he was on a whole different level, and strong enough to completely wreck Candiaru, who was trying to take out all of Jinwoo's friends. And man, the fear in this guy's eyes when Jinwoo knocked him to the ground, it was pure terror. He was screaming his lungs out, looking like he just saw his worst nightmare come to life. So there's no doubt that Candiaru was 100% absolutely terrified of Jinwoo. How terrified are you of Sung Jinwoo? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and watch this video next. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing Appy. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.